Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. Hi guys, Pontiff, it's your Pontiff. It's your Pontiff, and today guys, I am doing a paid review. That's correct guys, we're doing a paid review. Why am I doing a paid review? Because that's how I survive. This is paid review 21 QB38. And this is from Michael, and he says to the Pontiff, this is Michael, and I got to tell you, Michael, I do appreciate your support here because things have been a little bit quiet. And even though the money you sent me, you didn't ask for a video, didn't ask for nothing. I just wanted to give you I wanted to give you a bit of value. This is Michael the Snake. Now, hang on a minute before you guys start getting crazy. Before you guys start getting crazy and say, Arch, you got enough snakes on the stream already. This is Mike the Snake. Why is he called Mike the Snakes? Because he used to race cars and motorcycles, and that became his nickname. That's exactly right there. Quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing a Rolex Submariner 41mm steel sub date. This is the 126610 black bezel, black dial, 41mm. Impossible to get at the ADs, unfortunately. They really can be nasty. They can be very, very hard to do business with. They can be just difficult sons of bitches. That's just how the way it seems to work. So yeah, this is kind of what do you say? So I got to tell you, he very kindly sent me a small super chat. It wasn't huge. It was a modest super chat. And you know, he asked the question, very good question he asked here, and he said to me, this is what he said. He said, Arch, fine watches and supercars for the win. James Cameron 126660 Deep Sea doesn't get enough love. And I gotta tell you, he can be right there. Why doesn't it get enough love? We'll come to that. I'm just going to read you his email to me here. I'm somewhat educated on watches and have been watching you for many years, and I just wanted to grease the wheel, as one would say. I work at home and have spent years studying and watching videos and buying watches. Unfortunately, I lost my collection in the North California fires in 2017. And I'm working on rebuilding my collection. But I saved every penny and worked my ass off for everything I own. My watch collection and my car, 1972 De Tomaso Pantera. I love the Pantera. Are the things I want to replace most. I have a few nice watches now and can hold a conversation about most brands and really want to learn about more, as well as meeting new people and making new friends. I'm in the US, but can easily be available anytime as I keep funky hours, so no problems here. I think I could be a good contribution to the discussion. Mike, come on the show. He says, I could do a good contribution to your discussion as someone who is learning as I go, as well as giving advice on what I do know. If chosen, I would need a day or so to get a camera and mic set up so I can play along, but I'll do so immediately if chosen. Thank you for your consideration, Michael, aka Mike the Snake. So there we go. Cheers. So Michael, welcome on board to the Archie Luxury live stream channel. We want to welcome you with open arms there. Mike the Snake, we've got a new crew member. Now, to answer his question there, why doesn't get much love? James Cameron, Deep Sea doesn't get much love. I think the problem is it was a very chunky monkey. It was the biggest, the baddest diver they ever released. And I think what the problem is, I think the watch is amazing. Would I like to own one? Yes, I would. James Cameron or Black Dial, Black Bezel, I would probably, you know what? If I was using my own money, if I got to pick one, they said, hey, Arch, come into the AD. You can pick, what do you want? Do you want the black do you want a James Cameron, or do you want the black, the traditional one? I would take the James Cameron. But if I had to use my own moolah, I probably wouldn't pay the premium for the James Cameron, which essentially is just the dial. That's what the difference is. It's got that starburst. Well, sort of, it's kind of yeah, you know what it is. Why doesn't it get much love? I think it does. It is a very, very big, bulky, cumbersome sort of watch. Personally, I've got the Submariner date. Now, this doesn't go anywhere near as deep as the Deep Sea. This is kind of a 300 meter. It's just a beautiful, I think this is a great all-rounder. So I think it's not that the Deep Sea isn't loved. The problem is you're dealing with the greatest all-rounder, the Submariner. I think that is more than enough for most people. Steel sports watch, James Bond. What more do you want in a watch? This can be beautifully worn to work. And the problem is, with the Deep Sea, you're getting a bulkier, heavier watch. Do you really need it? It's a trade-off. Is it worth the extra money over a standard sub to get it? Now, the truth is, on the secondary market, they are a relative bargain. So if you're on the secondary market compared to the subs, which the subs are a pretty premium, I'd say it's a good thing. The other thing about the Deep Sea, whether it's a James Cameron or the standard, this watch is the biggest, baddest. That watch and the Yachtmaster 2 share that title. So I really do think in years to come, the big chunky monkeys will come into their own. At the moment, it's kind of how the fashions went there. Watches went really big. They were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I mean, you know, it's just like Pam. What did they bring out? The 50 millimeter Egyptian, which was ridiculous. It's like wearing a clock. And I've got to tell you, I think the perfect size, it depends what you want to do. The Deep Sea, I think, is an amazing watch horologically and for its seagoing feat. But if I had to wear a Rolex diver myself, I would always go for the standard sub. I mean, the most I'm going to do is going swimming with this damn thing. You know, I might go snorkeling. Maybe if I get my PADI certificate, I might go diving. And most people who go diving, they really don't dive more than 20 meters. So do you need a Deep Sea? Probably not. Probably not. I think the Submariner is probably the best. See, the problem is you go for the Deep Sea. It's chunky monkey. It's like driving a Land Cruiser everywhere. Now, I'm not talking a Sahara Land Cruiser. I'm talking the base 100 series diesel, non-turbo. It's a real bitch. And manual. And because I had one of those as a work car. I was on a construction site. I was on a pipeline. That's what they gave me as a work car. It was a base model Land Cruiser. It wasn't the Prado. It was a proper Land Cruiser. Had the vinyl floor. You could hose the bastard out. It had a diesel engine, but it was slow. It was manual, and it was awful, awful, awful. Off-road, it was incredible. Now, what they do is, of course, you could say, well, you know what, that Land Cruiser is the best four-wheel drive, and it is for that application. But if you're a city slicker who goes a little bit off-roading, see, you would be better with a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. The Prado. Because it'd be automatic. It would also be automatic. It'd be much more civil. Not such a chunky monkey to park. It would be a hell of a lot more enjoyable. So if we use that analogy, I would say the Deep Sea is like my, actually, I think it was a 200 series. 200 series manual, non-turbo diesel Land Cruiser. It is absolutely the best for off-road, but if you're city slicker, you're better off to get the Land Cruiser Prado because it's got delights like electric windows, beautiful stereo instead of the AM radio. Actually, I had an AM FM, but it was pretty rudimentary. Let me just say that to you. No electric windows. It was a beast. It was a diesel beast. Now, if I had to pull a caravan out of the swamp, I reckon that Land Cruiser would do it every day. But the truth is, it depends on what your application is. And I think that is what's wrong with the Deep Sea. I would rather, for city driving, I'd love to have the Prado because it may not be made in the same it may be not made in the truck factory. It may not have the special chassis. It's a monocoque. See, there's a few little differences there. It may be, but it has some some little bit of luxury, Gov. It's got the expensive leather seats. It's got electric windows. It's got a lot of tech. And you know what? That really stinky diesel, well, actually, the Prado can be diesel too. It can be diesel indeed. But it's not. It's the fact that it's such a beast to live with. So it's horses for courses. Sometimes you don't want the best four-wheel drive. You want a bit of a crossover. So I've got to be honest with you. I think that's the problem with the Deep Sea. If you're going barrel diving, okay, if you're going down to the Titanic, the Deep Sea it would beat anything else, okay? But not many of us are doing that. We're kind of weekend warriors, okay? Weekend warriors, and we're not really pushing the envelope, if you know what I mean. So that is the reason why the Deep Sea is a little bit, doesn't get enough love, because it's a brutal beast, just like that Land Cruiser I had was an absolute beast. Now, I think that's the best way to explain it. And by the way, guys, if you're saying to me, well, Arch, why are you using Toyota instead of, say, Mercedes-Benz to describe this? And the honest truth is, Mercedes-Benz are garbage. Mercedes-Benz four-wheel drives, SUVs, are shit, okay? They are shit. The ML, that's a disaster. The G-Wagon, yeah, I would give you points if you brought up the G-Wagon. I want a 5-cylinder diesel from the 80s, not these mamby-pamby kind of ones they have now. I'm talking a proper one. Even then, I got to be totally honest with you. If you were doing serious off-roading, Mercedes-Benz, no. You want to stick to Toyota. Toyota is really the best four-wheel drive there. Now you can say Range Rover is a horror story. You're paying the Toyota tax. I grant you that. The Toyota tax is quite steep, but it's the best. Okay, is the Lexus better? The Lexus is very good because it's based on the Toyota, but the actual Toyota is actually still better. Less tech to fike up. Okay, guys, that's the video for today. And all the Lexus people are going to hit the roof and get angry and say, well, that's fine. You can do that. Guys, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Don't be afraid to put some comments below, positive, whatever you want to say. And I will see you in the next one. Guys, I can't survive on Google Ads. I desperately need paid reviews to survive on the tubers. Without your help on the tubes, I might have to go and get a job. So please, if you could get a paid review done, I'd really appreciate it. I would really appreciate it. It'd be really cool. You can share it with your friends, share it with your work colleagues, put it on the forums, post it around there. That's what I would do, guys. So, guys, I will see you in the next one. And the other thing is, guys, I got Patreon. You can sponsor me month to month, and it helps me survive. Okay, guys, that's enough for today. See you tomorrow.
Feeling me, me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. Feeling me, me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. Feeling me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. Feeling me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck.
Like, subscribe, and tell your friends, and don't be afraid to get a paid review. $50 for a paid review. It helps me stay full-time on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one. $50 paid review. I can't survive on Google Ads. I need your support. And guys, you could also sponsor me on Patreon. Patreon allows you to pay as little as $1 a month to keep me on YouTube. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.